Joining me is senior partner of immigration lawyers Magrath Sheldrick, Chris Magrath.
Nigel.
Chris, do you understand that this is an issue and there are rights and wrongs of people that come, and some would qualify as refugees and some would not qualify as refugees? Do you understand there is a huge weight of public opinion out there in this country that says people crossing over the channel in these small boats being given four-star hotels, healthcare, dental care? Do you understand the sense of frustration there is in the country?
I'm not too sure I accept the premise.
Okay.
People don't get into these kayak rigid inflatables out of choice. I think it's important to make the point initially, we do not have a proper functioning asylum law in this country. If I was escaping torture, persecution, whatever, I couldn't walk into a British consulate in my country of origin and say, I'd like a visa, please. I want to claim asylum. You'd be shown the door very, very quickly. The only lawful route, and this does seem ridiculous, but the only lawful route is, let's take an example. A Ukrainian comes to the UK to visit family. While here, the Russians invade. He can't go back. He is here lawfully as a visitor. He can then
But Chris, isn't that ignoring our extraordinary generosity to those from Hong Kong? And the numbers coming from Hong Kong are increasing really quite quickly. Our generosity to those from Afghanistan, our generosity to those from Ukraine, albeit red tape may have slowed the process up. And it's not as if we've ducked our obligations to give refugee status, is it?
I think that's slightly missing the point. I mean, for example, Germany, Poland, other countries, not just the Ukraine, but Afghanistan and elsewhere, after the Syrian crisis, they took in many, many more people
but not
than we have
voluntarily.
done.
But not voluntarily. You know, I've heard this argument about France, and actually, the reason they had more people coming into their country was because they crossed the Mediterranean, and once they'd been accepted, there wasn't much they could do.
But
so it wasn't out of choice.
To Germany.
It wasn't out of choice. I mean, do you see any limit? I mean, given that the UNHCR say there are roughly now 80 million people displaced around the world through, whether it's famine, whether it's drought, whether it's war, whatever it is. I mean, do you see any limit to the numbers we should accept?
It's difficult to try and put figures on these things and
So,
say, well, 200,000 is fine.
A million?
I mean,
a million a year? Would
knows?
that be fine with you?
And I wouldn't even seek to comment on numbers. But what are people trying to do?
See, I put it to you.